Good morning. It is Friday, November 15th, 2024. And this is Fixing LWTdb episode number 7 on Friday. LWT. Now
Buffering.
that didn't come through on my headset. Is that because I didn't turn my headset on? Yes, that's why. Now let's see if I pause that and then go back to there, come back to here. Now I should be on. Yeah, no, it takes a little while before it comes through to my headset. So let's see, I'm going to come back to this point.
Yes, affirmative.
And yes, that worked. Thank you. There. I'll pause it there so we don't get the picture in picture. And let's see. If I unmute that, I guess I got to go live. If I pause. Yeah, got to go live. If I pause. Okay. So I do have audio confirmation. Hi, caramba. This is really an adjustment period for me. Let's see, the reason why I wanted to come over here is say this Fixing LWTdb episode number 7 on a Friday. For those of you who don't know, I changed the title of these shows because I'm kind of shifting gears, changing things up, doing things differently, because the way that I was doing the show was just consuming way too much time outside of showtime hours, and it was wearing me down. I have seen some hints here and there that some of you think what was wearing me down was the trolling and jokes. No. Those are a little bit part of it. I want to be a little more managed or controlled about things.
Yes, affirmative.
When they're used too much and in a way that doesn't make sense to me, that makes them a little wearing. So I don't know, for instance, what John was referring to there with giving me a yes affirmative right there, because I didn't actually ask a question. Brian said we have SpeakerBot. Maybe he was saying yes for that, but I didn't know what he was saying yes to. We're going to start off with Such a Doug. Well, Shirley. Oh, Jim doesn't want me to call him Shirley anymore. Oh, well. Let's come up to the top here. John Williams, hope I'm doing good this morning. Thank you for that. Our power service has been a problem. Every week we get a power outage for a few minutes. That is not okay, especially when I'm updating a BIOS on a motherboard. You might be in a position, I don't know how often you do that, John, but you might be needing to buy a very inexpensive UPS, not to run your main computer, but just when you want to do a BIOS update. Because it only needs to keep the computer powered during the time of the power outage. However, you could have a longer power outage. So should you be buying one that will keep it all the way through? But then there are ways to recover from borking a BIOS, but that can be quite difficult. So anyway, just an idea to throw out there with the UPS. Hello, Jeff Ryman. Alice Jones, hello. Brian, I wanted to post a joke, but the judge has imposed a gag order on me. The defense stands muted. And I'd say go for joke. Now, I don't know if he's referring to judge as me or as Ken Stout, because I have a hunch that Ken Stout has kind of said some things about what he thinks is going on for me, which may or may not have some basis in fact. Is that like go for launch? Yeah, it is. Exactly. So here it is. Here's Brian's joke. I have not read it. 2 vultures board an airplane, each carrying 2 dead raccoons. The stewardess looks at them and says, "I'm sorry, only one carry-on allowed per passenger." 2 vultures, each carrying 2 dead raccoons. Okay, only 1 dead raccoon each. Alice has an idea for a show name, TikTok Live. It sounds like TikTok Live. Not a bad thing. So I'll add that to the list, and I have not given you yet the criteria for how and why I want to change the show title, and not going to resume Windows Daily because it did not achieve what I thought it might achieve. Hey, Doug, what did you thought it might achieve? Well, Doug, glad you asked. Windows Daily, I thought would attract people, the kinds of viewers that I'm trying to attract, which is people of a technical mindset, whether they're amateur or pro or enthusiast, doesn't matter, that want to be faced with a number of variety of tech topics. And Windows Daily, I thought was going to kind of feed off of the Windows Weekly show because of its popularity. I thought that might get some viewers for that reason. And if it ever did, I think that's over with now. And so Windows Daily now just feels kind of tired to me. That's not all of the reasoning about how to choose a new name. Seldom Ball, greetings. Favorite word is drool. It just rolls off the tongue. Here's some SpeakerBot guidance coming back. Notice exclamation mark D is not there. Exclamation mark R for random is not there. Hello, Bobby. Zvi Minor, hello. Yeah, the exclamation mark Y is only going to give a yes. If you have something that you think is pertinent to the subject that I'm talking about, or that is somehow time sensitive and I should see it soon, that's where I'd like you to use exclamation mark C, and then whatever you want to say after that. Now, since there's no SpeakerBot actually speaking what you say, because that just sometimes takes too long, do the exclamation mark C and then type what you want to say. I will go read it. And hello, Brian, Jim, Mike, John. Have you considered getting UPS? Yeah, Selden came up with the same idea I did. I don't know how often he actually does that. Is there a good way to test a power supply other than trying another one? Yeah, with a power supply tester. I have one. Let's see. Power supply other than trying one. Yeah, if you'd like have power supply testers in your inventory and rather than actually hooking it up to a computer to test it, there are power supply tester gizmos. I'm not sure if they call them gizmos or gadgets. Power supply tester. Yeah, the one I have is pretty similar to this, where you can plug in all different types of connections and it gives you a readout for each of those connections. Now, I'm not really studied up on whether they test everything about the power supply, meaning when the power supply is truly under a real working load, you know, like load testing a car battery, that's different than just putting a static tester on your battery to see how much voltage it has. Will it hold up under load? And if anybody has insight on that, I've never really looked into it. Let's see, if I do a Control F and use for the word load. Yeah, here's a load tester. See, that's a lot more expensive. Well, that's a signal channel. Electronic load tester, battery tester, switching power supply. I would expect a load tester to cost more. That has a power cord on the back. Yeah, I'm not seeing where you plug in a PC power supply, so I don't think that would do it. Let's come back to these and then do my Control F again. Load. That doesn't look like right either. They're saying battery tester switching power supply. That doesn't necessarily mean a computer power supply. Yeah, I don't know on that. So we'll see if, now see there, as I was talking along that, if somebody knows an answer to it or has already put an answer into chat, that'd be a great place to put in an exclamation mark C to bring my attention to that. The power company here is checking things out. Ran to Jeff, trying another one is the fastest and easiest method as far as a power supply. Well, you're assuming there that the power supply that he's suspicious of is the one that's in the computer. And if that's the case, yeah, using a known good power supply would be the way to go, but you might not have that on hand. Or in some cases I've seen where, man, you have to disconnect everything about the power supply, remove it from the case, physically put the next one in order to be able to connect it up and test it. If the computer is at a user's desk, for instance, that can be really difficult to do. Yeah, trying another one may not be the fastest and easiest depending upon the circumstances. And Jeff is saying, if you have a spare. So he's asking for occasion where you don't have a spare. 1 million subscribers. Exclamation mark, 1 million subscribers. I've mentioned that in the past. Yes, I do think 1 million subscribers is plausible. And I know some people are going to say, you are crazy. Well, when we get there, I will play this video back here and prove you wrong. There are content creators on tech topics that even are don't have unfair advantages that are at 1 million subscribers, but they've been around for a longer time. Oh, let's see, what's the one? Electronic School, I think is the quickest one that I can bring you to. Let's see, is that the right name? The guy that stands at a desk with a very dull background. He's British and he has a very dull presentation style, but he's, if I remember right, he's over 1 million. So let's see. Explaining computers. Explaining computers. So I'm bringing him up. Explaining computers. Let's go have a look. Explaining computers. Here, 1.05 million subscribers. Now, however, he has some advantages. He's highly skilled. His videos are highly researched. They are scripted, they are edited, but they are very, very good instructional content. And in his past, 25 years teaching computing and future studies, University of Nottingham. Do you like the way I said that? Nottingham. And there are others. It is doable to get there. Whether I'm going to be able to figure out a combination to make it work for me, I don't know, but I'm going to try. And if you stick around with me, you will be able to say, I was here in the beginning, back when Doug had under 3,000 subscribers, right? Is that where I'm at?
Read chat, please.
All right, I will come to chat. Where am I at? 2,648. Presentation style of a dead fish, but knows his stuff. Yeah, got that right. Yes, exactly. Alice thinks I can do 1 million. I'm going to mute for a moment. Ryan Israel, I was there, Gandalf, 3,000 years ago. Explaining computers isn't the best presenter, but his content is very good. Yes, you don't have to have every element about your YouTube show, the best. But you have to attract the viewers that keep coming back. Now, I'm not going to try to do it his way. I can't. I could not do it. I don't have his background, his skill, and his ability for doing the research and doing the scripting and preparing how to present it. I have tried that. I have experimented with that. No. But there are lots of others that are well over 1 million, and they all have very, very different show styles. My show content right now, it needs some work. Where was I at? Yeah, 1 million. I'm assuming that's why you were asking that. John did not think about having a UPS, but we'll see what the power company says after the visit today. Is there anything they can say that is going to guarantee you that they're not going to have a power outage when you're doing a BIOS update? Now, are you doing a lot of BIOS updates? Do you do that less than 6 times a year? I'm not. And are you doing it for customers? Or are these for your own computers, doing it once or twice a year? Maybe you want to look into what does it take to recover a borked BIOS on your computer. Does your computer have any kind of what was that term? There's a special port that you can put a USB device that has your BIOS, and I think it'll even work without a CPU. Not certain about that. Maybe just a CPU. But on a totally borked BIOS, it can recover the BIOS. If you have one of those motherboards,
chat,
which
please.
I do have, I could do it. Also, the read chat, please, I'm going to eventually change that to just a sound effect rather than those the words. BIOS flashback. Thank you. That's what it's called. That's the perfect way to use read chat, please, on something that I'm talking about at the moment, particularly if I can't come up with a word that I'm looking for. Power company visit. I need to figure out how to get me back to the right place. Whatever PSU tester you use, it needs to put a load on the PSU. No load testing is useless. I'd say it's not completely useless. If you do a no load testing and it fails the test, that's useful. But if it passes the test, that doesn't mean it's completely okay. Maybe your load tester would be to have a desktop motherboard and components that you could plug a power supply into. Now, I have taken a power supply and just put it close to the open box computer and plug it in without actually mounting it. The other thing that you can do is you can have a power supply that's still mounted in the computer, disconnect its connectors, and connect that to a motherboard setup that you have on your desk. Now, sometimes you have to kind of manipulate the computer case to get it close enough to do that. But depending upon your circumstances, if that's a useful thing to you, then have at it. Greg Salazar uses a power supply tester during his fix or fail episodes when he attempts computer repairs. Dolby Tech, that's how I stumbled upon this, if I recall correctly. Actually, Dobie, I think I can get directly to, I remember when you first came around, it was a channel comment on a video, and I think I got it right. Is this it? This is the oldest comment I'm seeing, October 14th. New YouTube app for Windows. It was a short. And he says you can do this for any other app, actually. That's when I was showing how on some websites you can come up here to the address bar and click an icon to actually install that as an app. And I replied to his comment and told him about the daily show. And I think that's how he found his way here. So let me know, Dobie, am I right about that? Do you think that was it? Dobie is several minutes behind. He says, never mind. Never mind how you stumbled? No, I did. I was interested in that. Jeff's issue with the power supply. This is for a build-in progress. Yeah, best thing would be to connect it up, to just put it next to a functional computer. Shut that computer down, of course. Unplug the power supply that's in that case and plug your proposed power supply into that existing functional computer and see if it works, because that is a load test. Ken and Brian talking to each other. He covers topics, other Windows. Yes, he does other operating systems. I've already read those that I'm skipping over. John, I do have several power supplies on hand because I build computers. I just want the power company to fix the problem coming from the pole outside. Now, he was talking about the BIOS update. Having power supplies on hand doesn't help that. I think that's kind of mixing two conversations there, because having extra power supplies on hand does not help you for updating a BIOS. Reminds of the comedians who would do impressions of Russian TV news anchors, dead fish and chips. Several times a year as I build computers, I always update the BIOS and motherboards to make sure the secure boot is enabled. See you later, Jim. It's going for lunch. So I'm going to go for one thing that I had lined up to tell you about. And I know there were other things potential to tell you about, but since I didn't make a list, this was a very strange situation. Watch this. This computer that I'm showing you here has 23H2. And look what this says over here. Get the newer version of Windows to stay up to date. Your version of Windows has reached the end of service. Do you understand that? 23H2 actually still has another year of life left. And this Windows update is telling me my version of Windows has reached the end of service. I had this on Baby Beast and Big Beast this week after Update Tuesday. After that update, I restarted the computer. Both of these computers had this message. I tried restarting again, did not fix it. I tried check for updates, did not fix it. The only thing that fixed it, which is sometimes the right thing to do, is just wait. I'm not certain if it was the next day or 2 days after. So update Tuesday. So it was Wednesday or Thursday that this turned up a fix. I think Wednesday it was still broken. And on Thursday it was fixed. The message was just gone. Don't know why. Don't know how that must have happened on Microsoft's side. But that was weird. In terms of tomorrow's show, Saturday's show, what I'm going to do, at least for this week, I'm going to keep my normal show time. I know that Kerry Holzman is going to have a show tomorrow, and I'm very much looking forward to it because he told yesterday on his show that, I'm forgetting the name of that computer that he's working on right now.
Read chat, please.
That he has received a BIOS update from them. He did not mention whether he got a explanation from them, but he has the fix that he's going to attempt to apply live on Saturday. So what I'll do on Saturday, I'm going to finish this subject before I go to the chat message. On Saturday, what I intend to do is when it comes up time for his show time, I'm going to put a link into chat and let everybody know his show is starting. No hard feelings if you go over to his show, and hopefully you'll come back and replay my show afterwards. But I came to realize that we're only going to have this problem half of the year. And then I got to switch back again. And actually, my normal start time is pretty convenient to me. Going an hour earlier does kind of cut into some things for me. So for tomorrow, that's the way I'm going to handle it. Dobie says, I think so. I might have checked out your channel, found the short, and then became interested in the shows. That's usually what happens. So it might not have been the short first. Danielle, it looks like the one Greg uses tests with whatever load the computer is putting on the supply at the time of the test. So that might be a pass-through tester. If he has a device where he can connect the power supply into the tester and then the tester into the motherboard so that the tester is in series, that would be testing under load. Now that you mention that, is it possible the tester I have will do that? I never even thought to consider that. Because you couldn't just plug into one of the unused power connectors to really get a measure of the amperage that's happening, although you would be able to tell that it is still outputting voltage to the unused lead. Did you test SpinRite 6? No, I have not yet. I just have too much on my plate to spend time on that, and partly because I'm very intrigued with it, Zvi, but I don't really see that I'm going to be using it. I have a stack. I have a stack of spinning hard drives that are labeled to try with SpinRite because I have some kind of problem that I'd like to see if SpinRite will fix it. But I'm never actually going to implement that kind of a fix on a client's computer. If a client has a defective drive, because his software will fix even SSDs and NVMe's. And his next version, I think, is expected to do even better for that. But on a client's computer, am I actually going to take one of those drives, charge my client my time for trying to fix it? I don't think so. I think I'll just be replacing it. The only place that I would see that I would really see for doing that is if I wanted to recover a drive that we could not replace because we did not have a backup. But even still at that, I don't want to be the one doing it. I want to send it to $300 data recovery. So even though I'm very enthusiastic about his product, I just don't see that I'm actually going to use it on my client's computers. It is a known bug. So Seldom Bald says that it is a known bug with the update this week. I did not even research it. I did not even do a single Google search. Seldom Bald, do you have a link for that? I'd be curious to read up about it a little bit. I responded to your question earlier. I assume this is how !C is supposed to work. Yeah, that's reasonable. I learned about this update on the, he's reading my mind. You little psycho, you. 10 forums, that is zoomed, that is maximized. That doesn't get me to the specific article. That just gives me to Windows 10 forums. On the web forum, 10 forums, can you get me a little more specific? I'm not going to go looking through all of that, trying to find that article. Max Ting, yeah, it's the Max Ting computer with the boot problem with the secure boot. Yeah, well, that's what he said, secure boot. Silly Doug didn't highlight the whole thing. I've got garbage trucks out in front of my house right now. I don't think you can hear them. Wow, look at that. I'm caught up with chat. I'm going to mute for a moment. I re-implemented some Stream Deck buttons and obviously StreamerBot and SpeakerBot. I haven't actually done the checklist. I haven't re-implemented them yet. Only reason to try SpinRite would be channel content. Well, channel content, bingo, absolutely, because I was thinking, I haven't seen or noticed YouTube content out there demonstrating actual repair failures and successes with SpinRite. You are absolutely on target there, Keith, for show content. That I'm very interested in, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that when I was talking about it earlier. Dovey Tech, I think he's got a more specific link in here. Your version of Windows have reached the end of service. See, that would be the Google search to do. If you just do that Google search alone, that would probably get to a bunch of stuff. Your device is real. Why does it say this? 2 days ago, that was longer ago. So this one that was longer ago is probably not on point. This one is saying 23H2 will no longer be supported, but let's look closer at this. Updates itself, get the newer version. Your version has reached into service. And this person did not know that it was a known bug, because they're saying type win search into show WinVer into search. Slow down, Doug. Read your words. Read your words. Press enter and show us the results. Didn't he already say what version he's on? No, he didn't. If you are, you can update to 23H2. I think I'm on 23H2. Think? Why couldn't you say you know? If you're positive, then that message would be incorrect. This is not in confirming that this is a known bug. Is it down lower? Let's go down to the bottom. If it's a bug affecting others, there's some cold comfort in that. It looks like I'll just have to be patient. Not my best trait. One of the Microsoft thread involving the issue by one of the users in that resolved the issue by logging off all users. Well, restarting achieves logging off. By the looks of the thread that Mark had posted, you might have to wait. Yeah, all right, enough of that. Hey, Doug, you didn't mute your mic when you cleared your throat that time. I know, Doug. Shut up. Yeah, they're telling each other to shut up all the time. Well, that's 9:31. Wait. Because I don't have my checklists, I did not yet set up a redirect to Kerry Holzman's Friday show. He's got some kind of big monster build today, I think was what he said. No, it's on customization. Redirect. Oh, redirect. Kerry Holzman. Live, fast, mysterious, unbeatable Intel Core Ultra 7 265K and ASRock Z890 Nova PC build. There we go. The fix is in. The Fixamundo is in. Well, that'll do it for me today. Normal Saturday hours tomorrow. I don't have a specific plan for the show tomorrow, but I'm no Zoom tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. All right, I see your link, Zvi. I'll go check on it. There you go. Have a great Friday, everybody. Goodbye. Can't even pronounce the word everybody correctly. Jeez, what am I going to do?